Do you know how long you have to scroll when you sort by a top post of the month in order to come across like a definitive asshole flare? That's insane. Not enough of you are taking risks out there. You're posting safe, definitely not the asshole type stories. And the other guy that I came across was just like villain bad. Like he just counts his girlfriend's calories or something. He's like Dennis from Always Sunny. But am I the asshole for surprising my wife with food she mentioned wanting, but not exactly what she expected? My wife has mentioned in the past that she wanted to try the Krabby Patty burger and a pineapple frosty from Wendy's. On my way home from work, I decided to surprise her. I picked up a Krabby Patty burger, a chicken sandwich for myself, and 2 pineapple frosties. I knew she was about an hour away, so I told her I had a surprise waiting for her when she got home. To keep the food fresh, I put her burger in the fridge and the frosty in the freezer. I even ordered the burger without lettuce, thinking I could avoid it getting soggy, and we have lettuce at home that we could add fresh. I'm 2 paragraphs in, really reevaluating what my life is at this point, but it's fine. When she got home, she was excited about the frosty and asked, "Is there a Krabby Patty burger too?" I told her to check the fridge, and that's when things went downhill. She got upset because the burger was cold and I didn't get fries. She said that real justice would have been me waiting for her to come home so we could both get fresh food together, or at least putting my food in the fridge too so we'd both be eating cold food. You know, she's making some valid points here. You're like, ooh, I know that she really wants the burger. I'll get it hours ahead of time. Just wait, man. You got a little hungry, man. And as you know, listen, as a chunky boy myself, I feel you. But sometimes you tough it out for the better part of the hour, and then you bring home a nice hot Krabby Patty. You know what I mean? To your significant other. It's really not that complicated. You just wait a little bit, brother. Just wait a little bit longer, brother. Asshole though, asshole situation. I almost thought she was going to be one of those people where like you got the lettuce off the burger and she's like, "Oh, that completely ruins it. It's not like the Krabby Patty at all." Even though it's just a typical Wendy's burger, they just like labeled it the Krabby Patty. But I thought maybe she was going to say something like that and like there'd be some, but like I don't know, man. You got somebody a fast food burger, put it in the fridge for an hour, and they're like, "Hey man, this kind of sucks." Like, yeah, it sucks. I don't know. She accused me of always expecting grand thanks for doing gestures that aren't as big as I think they are, and I said I didn't listen to her. She wanted the full meal, not just the burger and frosty. She also said she's not going to pretend to be grateful for something that wasn't what she asked for. I was just trying to do something nice, and now I feel like my gesture was totally unappreciated. Am I the asshole? It's funny that she's like, she brings up, you know, like you expecting grand thanks, and then in the next sentence or the next paragraph, whatever, however far down it is, you're like, I feel like my gesture was unappreciated. Like, it just goes hand in hand. Like, if it kind of reaches that point where she's saying things like, "Why does this always happen?" It leads me to believe that you do this all the time. Like, you're just kind of inconsiderate. You know what I mean? Like, this is you might not mean to do it, but it's kind of comes across as passive aggressive or something, man. Like, what do you mean? Like, use your brain, you know? Your mom loves pizza Fridays. She loves it so much that I decided to order the pizza this morning, and I just left it out. It's just kind of, I put it in the fridge. Pizza for dinner, but I ordered it in the morning and put it in the fridge. Now, obviously, that's a ridiculous, like, that's much longer than just an hour. But I mean, come on, man. Come on. Like, imagine you say you want to go on a date at 7:30, but you make her meet you there. So she shows up at 7:30 and you're like, "Hey, I ordered yours an hour ago. I knew what you wanted." And it's just cold sitting there. Didn't even get it in a box. It's just, it's psycho behavior. It's just not, it's, Like, just read the room, it's like basic etiquette update. So we talked about it, and I explained that I didn't have a problem if she would have said, I appreciate the gesture, but I would have liked to get it together, or if we would have waited until she was home. I told her I understand why she was upset, and we both agreed that there was a better way to talk about it. She took a bite just now and said, this is just a Dave single with fancy sauce, so she doesn't even want it anymore, hot or cold. Alrighty, y'all. Thanks for the discussion. I'm the asshole, and I'll wear that hat for this one. Oh, God. What did I tell you? When I start to hear someone say things like, now don't get me wrong, there are some people that will complain no matter what you do. But in this situation, I totally could understand somebody being like, hey, man, like, why is this cold? Like, of course, what do you mean? Did I want the burger hot? I wanted it at least warm, I guess. It's cold. What is wrong with you? If they're talking about that, which I think is a situation that most people would agree, like, come on, man, why would you bring somebody cold, like a cold burger like that? A cold, it got the grease solidified and whatever. But anyways, most people would look at you and say it. But the fact that she's like, hey, why do you consistently just like kind of do? It's like when you ask somebody to do the dishes, and they like put the dishes in the dishwasher, but they don't start it or something like that, where it's just like, you were right there. Or they almost fill it up, and they tell you that they're gonna fill it up, but they left some water in a pan or something, because they're like, I gotta get, the rice was sticking to it, so I want to leave the water. But then they just never put that in there. You're like, okay, whatever, dude. I know that I'm gonna be the one that has to go and put that into the dishwasher, because you're gonna be off doing something else. You're gonna forget about it. Maybe I just needed better roommates. Like, my wife, she kills it in that department. But I've definitely had a ton of roommates where, like, sometimes I would hear like, hey, man, I'm going to load the dishwasher or something. And it's like, okay. Like, we had a roommate that didn't even have a job at the time. But I was like, I don't care, man. He lost his job, and it was like, yeah, whatever. Just clean a little bit more around the apartment. And he was one of those types of dudes where, like, everything was like, you know what? I don't even know why I asked. Because it's just like, it was like, could you maybe clean the bathroom? And they put like I don't know, like a default amount of like the blue stuff in the toilet, and then they just like flush it. So there's like still a ring or whatever or something. It's just like, man, I don't know why I asked. Like, I could have just done that shit before I went off to work and then came back and flushed the toilet. You know what I'm saying? I just want a little bit of elbow grease. You know what I mean? The toilet's a bad example because toilets are gross, so you can kind of understand. But it's like, these little passive aggressive. I'm just talking about roommates too. Imagine if it's the person you love. Insanity. You picked up fast food. Oh, what gesture. All right. Let's see who's willing to be like not the asshole. You tried to do something nice for her and she threw it back in your face. She sounds insufferable. Bonus points for thousands of people in this thread whining about cold food. Wah. Kids. Put it in the air fryer for a few minutes, around 300. It will taste perfectly fresh. There are people saying here they won't eat fast food 15 minutes after buying it. I think the gift sucks and isn't what OP's wife wanted, but people are acting like a cold burger is literal poison. I wouldn't say it's literal poison. I would just say that it's just not as good. And even if you reheat it in the air fryer, brother, it's still not the same. It will taste perfectly fresh. No, it won't. Just wait a little longer and bring something. She sounds insufferable. Now this guy sounds insufferable, man. You didn't listen to her and your gesture seems nice, but if she can't be happy, if she can't enjoy it, then it's point. Why did I throw can't be happy? Whatever. It was a nice gesture, but I understand why she was upset. No one wants to try something for the first time that's been sitting around. A cold burger plus frosty that's probably a rock now from being in the freezer is no bueno. Yeah, I mean, yeah. People are trying to make this like not the asshole point because you're not the asshole because you tried. But I do think, like, what is that? It's that women are constantly accusing their boyfriends of doing this. It's like weaponized incompetence, I think, where like I'll say I'm going to do a nice thing, but like I'm kind of going to do it like I finally did the thing, but when I did the thing, I kind of did it pretty shitty. You know what I mean? I said, you know what? This weekend, don't lift a finger. I'm going to be in charge of the food and I'm going to clean the house. And then you just like order DoorDash a couple nights and I don't know, you leave bleach in the toilet and you're like, I cleaned the bathroom. I might be projecting about my old roommates again, but you understand what I'm saying, right? There's some people that do that shit where it's like once in a blue moon, they're like, you know what? I'm going to contribute, guys. And it's like, I almost wish you just didn't say anything to me because I like my expectations went up a little bit and then you just kind of did like the absolute bare minimum. And then you're like, isn't that crazy? Your boy did something. And it's like, I guess so, brother. I guess so. Anyways, I don't think you're a mega asshole here, which I'm assuming is why people just think you're an asshole. But I mean, yeah, just like, this isn't poo mode worthy. It's just like read the room, you know? Oh, thank you for the cold burger. Most people would just be kind of disappointed. I would be kind of disappointed.